And here's a rundown on some of our Alaska stories for this Wednesday morning. It is April 26th, 2017. Northern Edge has been approved in Gulf of Alaska waters. That is, the Navy has okayed their own activities with some more limits. They're basically saying they were only going to do one major exercise instead of the two that they had planned. Two 13-year-old boys have been arrested and charged with arson in Juneau for apparently lighting fire to a playground. It completely burned up, about $1 million in damage. The Juneau tourism season actually gets underway this weekend with a very small boat coming in, and it's going to have its first really big boats on the 1st of May. I'd like to see more visitors this summer to tourism in Juneau and, of course, to the rest of Alaska as well. The UAF faculty are grappling with the proposed cuts coming from the state budget. They're talking about dropping a couple of degrees, literally only a couple. And meanwhile, the Anchorage and Matsu education leaders got together to decry the Senate's proposed cuts to education across the board. Chief Tolley, Anchorage police chief in Anchorage, is resigning, and the police union is calling that retirement bittersweet, saying that morale has improved under his leadership as they've grown the number of police on the streets, and they're hoping to continue to grow. The Fairbanks City Council has advanced their plans to retain ownership of the Polaris Building. Basically, if the owner fails to pay the taxes, they're going to take ownership of it and prepare to demolish it. The problem is they don't have the funds either to pay the taxes or to demolish the building. And that's going to be problematic because that means the city of Fairbanks taxpayers are going to be on the hook for this building. The NTSB has blamed the flight-seeing pilot as well as the employee safety culture for the crash near Ketchikan that killed 9 back in 2015. And Fish and Game are telling Alaskans to be aware now that the birds are back. Make sure that your dogs are under control. Hold on to your dogs because, of course, they could disrupt the breeding of birds, and that could be a problem. The former Deadliest Catch star was the son of the Josh Harris. He's been arrested for methamphetamine possession in Fairbanks. And in Anchorage, the expanding Anchorage Museum is basically going to be giving up on the past, holding on to the myth of frontier Alaska and focusing instead on remaking Alaska's identity with our own art, our own music, our own, culture, as opposed to this idea of the mythology of the frontier. Alaska seafood is now the most popular protein on over 500 major restaurant chains in the United States, meaning that it has surpassed Angus beef and the Japanese Kobe beef as a protein of choice. Also, if we do not get an exemption or some kind of identification that complies with the Real ID Act as of the beginning of July, Alaskans will not be able to get onto military bases or even fly. And there's more news, of course, than we have time to cover here. So make sure you become a subscriber and get the 30 to 40 minute version delivered directly to your inbox every morning at radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.